Your wife asks for space, but you live in the same home. How do you go about doing this? How do you respect her boundaries, but still engage with her in a way that will bring her back? Now, in today's video, I'm gonna give you 5 powerful actions that you must take in this scenario to win her back. And no, it's not just simply no contact, okay? There is a way to engage with her. So let's jump in. Every man that has won their wife back accepts the reality that letting her go is the key to bringing her back. However, there's one huge problem. You're living in the same house. A house with no spare rooms. You're sleeping on the same bed, or maybe you're on the couch, but you are raising the kid together. And to top it off, you work in the same place too, or at least a lot of guys I know do. One guy asked me the other day, Josh, how do I let her go and give her space in a situation like this? It seems impossible. Yes, that is a huge challenge for a lot of men, but not impossible to overcome and use to your advantage to get her back. Now, navigating a situation where your partner needs space, especially in the context of a pending divorce, or if she's seeing someone else, whatever the case may be, it requires sensitivity, respect, and most of all, creativity. Not only does she want time away from you, but because, let's be honest right now, you're the reason for her pain. But that will change. But you must take that pill of truth, at least, before you focus on what to do to get her back, okay? Accept that you are the cause of her pain. Now, you must prioritize your own self first. Do the inner work and transform into a man that she admires and would regret ever leaving. Now, these 5 actions will do this for you. So let's jump into number 1. Firstly, one of the best things you can do is to cultivate outside interest. Make sure you have separate activities apart from each other, right? Whether it's hobbies, sports, social activities, going to the gym, going into nature, finding other friends, I don't care what it is. Do something that lights you up outside of her. This way she can see that you are working on yourself. She needs that proof that you are doing things to develop yourself with your time outside of the normal work, family, and her, okay? Look, there are so many things that you are passionate about, that you were passionate about younger in your life, that you used to do. Maybe you used to play more sports. You used to show this passion, this fervor, this aliveness, that you've stopped doing things that scare you, that light you up. And she's fallen out of love with you to a large degree because of that. Whether she's conscious of it or not, I am telling you that is one of the large reasons why she has lost this passion for you, because you lost a passion for your life. You've gone into the mundane and the routine, and that's why she's lost that spark of attraction, okay? And by the way, as a caveat, don't tell her what you're doing. Don't say, hey, I'm gonna go do this thing. Allow her to be curious. Let her to ask you. Because if you come forward with what you're doing, it's like you're trying to prove it to her. Hey, I just found this course I'm just doing. Guys do that all the time, and the wife can sniff through it that you're just trying to get her back with those words. Now, a lot of guys will say, Josh, that makes sense, but I've been doing that. What about all the other time we spent under the same roof? Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because let's address it with our second action here. Now, this is important. You must establish the correct boundaries at home. There's this scene from Dirty Dancing that really kind of shows this.
This is my dance space. This is your dance space. I don't go into yours, you don't go into mine. You gotta hold the frame.
Look, Patrick Swayze's character, he holds the frame, okay? And a lot of you aren't doing this, okay? You're not separating those physical boundaries between you and her. You must create your own space. This might mean like designating certain areas of the personal spaces that she can use when she needs alone time. Consider rearranging the living space to create more distinct areas for each of you if possible. And of course, you must respect each other's personal time as well. Agree on times when you can have each other in the same house to yourselves and when you guys should be interacting. Like, I know it seems not romantic, but create a schedule around this, seriously. One that allocates time for each of you to have the house at certain times or the rooms privately. And this is oftentimes best navigated with a close friend, a preacher, a brother. When it comes to it, you can be in the same roof, but you could still have your separate time. And then even if, when she doesn't engage with you in the same home, it's fine. Like, it's even more painful sometimes than when she moves out. So I get the almost desire to want to move out, but take this as an advantage. I know it's painful that she's not giving you the same treatment that she used to, but trust me, these next actions will help with that. But just make sure you establish those boundaries clearly. Now, this might involve different break times at work if possible, or just changing your work-related interactions, right, to come home at different times if possible. But respect each other's professional space and avoid bringing personal issues into the workplace. All right, but let's get real. Even when you establish boundaries around shared space and you've cultivated outside interests, you're still gonna be tested, right? She's still gonna test you, especially when she sees your changes. You're gonna have those uncomfortable, often frustrating interactions that can honestly make or break the next stage of your marriage, progress to the forward stages and phases towards reconciliation. And that's why this next action is one of the most important ones. Now, failure to grasp this will put the kind of nail in the coffin of your relationship. And I don't wanna scare you, but I just seen it too many times. Since the reality is you're gonna be in a close-knit space together, you must learn to be unreactive to her tests. You must be the eye of the storm, okay? The shore to her ocean. Think of every time you flew off the handle and reacted to her in defense or in anger, or you stormed out of the room, pun intended, by the way. You were like a hurricane causing more damage to your relationship. But the eye of the storm is peaceful, calm, collected, and quiet, right? Even within all the chaos. That is the powerful masculine state. Staying composed, even when situations around are turbulent. This is the hardest thing for lots of men to grasp, because when she comes at you with her heated words or a comment that just hits you below the belt, every part of you wants to lash back. That's not what I meant. That's not the way I, if you just knew the way I saw it. But you have to resist, because doing so will convey stability, resilience that will allow her to feel safe, okay? So take that deep breath. See that underneath all the words, there's just pain, okay? And those words are just almost like brushstrokes of pain, right, from that paint, okay? And there's no order to it, there's no structure, there's no meaning behind it. It's just an expulsion and a vomit of emotional pain. So don't engage in logic, because there's no rationality behind it. And when you engage in the rationality behind it, you are never going to win. You know this, I don't have to tell you, right? So take that deep breath, see her pain for what it really is, and be unreactive. Remain curious to her, okay? Now, this next one is a continuation of being unreactive, because once you become that eye of the storm, mastering this next one will kind of guide you out of that storm with her, okay? So this is all progression in these boundaries. Now, this is what she's been really wanting from you all along. It will lead you to a place of intimacy and trust with her that you've never been, when suddenly being in such close quarters will become a good thing, okay? That she will want you as much as you want her. Now, this is what I call E squared, or emphasis on empathy, okay? For this one, I want to share the great quote that I love. Empathy, for me, is a deep understanding of the experience of another. It is the ability to get what another person is saying without judging, blaming, advising, or one-upping them, or even sympathizing or interpreting. Instead, it is giving the other person the gift of our presence and focus, and trying to understand the feelings and needs behind what they are saying. That's by Marshall B. Rosenberg, from his book, Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life. Great book on how to deal with conflict, by the way, one of the best. It conveys the important action that you must emphasize empathy. That means put it first, okay? You need to validate those emotions, her experience, her worldview. There's no playing the blame game here. Listen to your partner's needs and concerns with empathy, even if you don't agree with a certain point they have. And this one is one of the hardest for men to get, because you're so ingrained in your ego, which is like your way of perceiving the world, that when she's saying something that just isn't true, like that's not true, it's not what I meant, it's not the way I saw it, it's not my intention, you want to become defensive. You want to, if you just let her know, if she just understood you, then she wouldn't feel this way. You have to recognize that knowing, that logic comes always after the feeling fades. You must address this feeling, and until you validate her own emotions and her own empathy in all of this, no logic will work, okay? Just try this out, trust me. Be unreactive, reflect her emotions back to her, how she's feeling, the storm settles for her. Here's an example of how this works wonders for your relationship. I want to read a comment on my YouTube channel from a video about letting her go and she will come back to you. Again, this man writes, I literally just experienced this. My girlfriend a week and a half ago hit me with this line. I haven't been feeling right in my body. I think for my energy, I need to be alone. I want to break up. I used tactical empathy and repeated verbatim what she said. Then, as calm as I could be, I said, okay, I understand your feelings are valid. I saw her body language instantly change. She went from needing to be alone to spending the weekend with me. After she left, I went no contact. Then after 5 days of silence, she asked me for her to come over so she can cook me dinner and wants me to stay the night so we can talk. This invite literally happened yesterday. I'm heading there now for context. This man's advice works. Well, I give him credit because he actually listened. That's a perfect example about how using tactical empathy completely changed her mood. I know this seems so illogical, but by agreeing to her reality, it doesn't mean you are wrong. It doesn't mean she's gonna take advantage of you. It doesn't mean that she's gonna see you less than, because I know a lot of guys, your ego puts on that illusion that that's what's gonna happen, that if you're wrong, she's gonna take advantage of you, that you just feel less than, right? That she's like above you and you want to feel good in yourself. It's not about that, okay? Seeing her situation and repeating it back to her, it's not agreeing with her. It's saying, I understand this is the way you see the world, period. As things often have to get worse before they get better, I want to address this last action, okay? In some cases, she may push for physical separation, moving out, wanting you to move out. Right now, this could involve one of you staying with friends or family for a short period, maybe even exploring temporary living conditions. I understand this is not ideal, And if you have kids, you don't want to be apart from them. You have that big conversation no parent wants to have. But if she pushes for that or takes it upon herself to do so, use the time to reflect on the part of things, how they are right now, okay? Do not be reaching out to her during that time, always checking in, finding excuses to reach out to her. Don't stalk her social media. Do not stalk her social media, like her posts, her stories. Don't do that, okay? Give her the space and let her go. Hardest thing to do. Easier said than done. Also the right action. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that is the right action because I've seen it too many times. Like, the more you push, the more of the same man you are come from. Look, if you're the same man, you're gonna do the same things. Your same things are like reaching out, being needy. You have to do something different, and it's hard. But on the other side of hard is growth, and that's what she needs you to become. Like, this is solved. Like, I've talked about this so many times on the channel, and if this is new to you, this is it, man. You must take that space. If this video helped you in any way, press like so it can share out to other people. And if you need help personally from our team, set up a call with us down below. Make sure you're fully committed. We only take certain calls. People are fully invested in wanting to save their marriage. So if that's you, if not, we have free resources that we will redirect you to. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.